Bam! Woo! What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, good people? Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha Wright, aka Key Lolo. That's right, Key Lolo was in the easy. Me and Cheryl, we kind of matching today, you know what I'm saying? And over here, y'all know who it is. It is the one and only. That's right, Cheryl Morrow, aka the hair oracle. I need to put the on there. I need to put a handle on that. So I'll make sure I just noticed that there's no the on there. So that is the hair oracle. And that was affectionately given to her by one and only Mr. Hair Savant, because everybody, you know what, Hair Savant, when you and Sandra are not in the chat, everybody be like, where's Savannah and Sandra? Like me and Cheryl, we don't even count no more. Remember, Cheryl, we used to be the stuff back in the day. We used to be like 50 Cent, damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. Now it's all about Hair Savant and Sandra. So we are going to have a wonderful, wonderful podcast tonight. This is part 2 about relaxers and the alternative. My boss just dropped in, so we're going to drop them L's when we come back. But in the meantime, we do have our theme song by the one and only Miss Rachel Evans, and it is all about Sister. Would you please let Cheryl and I, oh, we should say brothers too, let us do your hair. So this song is our official theme song to the podcast. It is by the beautiful Rachel Evans, and it is called Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. It's coming. I hope y'all having a good time. I know y'all still got some of them Thanksgiving leftovers. I can smell that stuffing. Come on, I know y'all got some Thanksgiving leftovers. All right. Come on in. Come on in. I have some hot tea. I'll tell you guys in a minute. While I have me some hot tea, but come right on in. That's right. Put your earbuds in. Turn your volume up. And join us. Let me turn my volume up so I can get my groove on. Very happy if you would let me do your hair. Let us do your hair now. Quit playing. Come on now. Let me do your hair. Woo! You do a little cha-cha on? I know how to cha-cha. I do my little cha-cha. Hey. And let me do your hair.
Survivor of what you've been through, heartache and struggles won't get the best of you. I want to help you. Let me help your light to shine through. You'll be so very happy
if you would let me do your hair. If you would let Lolo do your hair, I would be so happy. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey. Y'all lucky I can't sing, cause I'll go acapella up in this joint. Turn this into a rap song though. Y'all know Key Lolo. Hey. Here come that sexy jazz. come right on in as we listen to the beautiful, beautiful Rachel Evans as she sings, Sister, Let Me Do Your Hair. All right. Such a beautiful song. Such a very, very, very beautiful song. All right. So beautiful. And again, you can support Rachel as an independent artist right there on your Amazon Prime. So make your purchase and support the sister. You know how it is out here. I'm a cosmetologist. Our career definitely falls under the starving artist until you get yourself going. But this is how it's going down. I believe this is our 81st episode. And so, yeah, so if you are already in the chat and you're familiar with us, I see you, Miss Janet. I see you in the Heezy Hair Savant. I see my boss, everybody. You can go ahead on and hit that thumbs up button. You can also, if you feel comfortable, go right on ahead and just hit that share and just share it to one of your friends on social media. Maybe they're a cosmetologist, maybe they're a doctor or a researcher, and they're very interested in our topic tonight, which is about the relaxer. This is part 2. So we are going to pick up as we talked a little, we're going to talk a little bit about the relaxer causing cancer. And then we're going to talk about Dr. Willie Morrow's famous California green, which I know nothing about. And so Cheryl is going to talk about an alternative as we see our way to the future, because as you guys know, I will be with Cheryl in San Diego in a couple of weeks, and we have a real live press conference. That's right, because we are officially the relaxer advocates, and I use the hashtag we are serious about our business, and we truly are. And it's all about the legacy and our right to use our power to advance the relaxer, because we're going to talk about that tonight. Maybe some people they just hate the just the notion of just straightening out all those beautiful curls and coils, and maybe you can help some people understand a person's choice or whatever, however you want to break that down. We'll have the opportunity to do it. But before we get into that, what's going on, Miss Janet? I see you. We're going to talk about those current events, because you know, Cheryl, I always get the cool current events, right? You already know. Ladosha, what you got? So here's what I got. I've got 3 interesting current events, and this one you guys are going to love. You ready, Cheryl?
Eyes ready.
Cheryl, like, what you got? So here we go. So the current event, I get on Google, and I that's where I get my current events from. And so Google says the missing history of Africa in American education. Okay. And now I was thinking too, sure, maybe in the 2024 we can do replace this with riddles. I went down to Grandpa's Cheese Barn today, and they had a riddle for the day, and it was very interesting. And the riddle said, what stays in the corner but travels around the world like Santa? Anybody want to take a stab at that? What travels around the world like Santa, but it stays in the corner? It travels around the world like Santa, but it stays in the corner. You think you got it? Let's see. I know we got a little delayed response. I was thinking that we could. I love my boss. Come on, boss. You're close. She says money. Oh, come on. You know what? I love Hair Savant. He got it. Postage stamp. That's right. It stays in the corner and it travels around the world like Santa. So I also once said the sun. We got money. All right. Excuse me. Can everybody pause for a minute? Danny is in the chat. Hello, Danny. I got my nice red rouge lipstick on. How you doing, Mr. Handsome? I hope everything is going good. Over in Las Vegas, we have Las Vegas premier barber, Mr. Danny Michael, is in the chat. So hello, everybody. So yeah, so sure, I'm thinking we could kind of switch it up a little bit next year and do some riddles. I think this will get people kind of going. But anywho, for today, you've got the missing history of Africa in American education, and you want to know what they said we're missing? Sure, like entertain me, Ladosha. Do your thing, Kilolo. Here it is. Bam! They said y'all don't teach them black kids about those American kids about no Mansa Musa. What you think about that one?
Well, he is the richest person who ever lived.
He is the richest person who ever lived. Okay, so should he be a part of that?
He's from the richest country ever to exist.
All right. So they said, hey, we have missed Mansa Musa in Africa history, America. So if you are not familiar with Mansa Musa, he literally was like, has anybody surpassed his wealth today?
No, not one person. They Forbes like to put 3 and 4 of Europeans' best. I think about 3 or 4 of them equals his wealth. But
you mean Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and what you call it? I forgot the other Amazon guy.
Yeah, you got to put them all together.
Oh boy, we need some education, guys. So okay, well maybe Google is right. We need to get some education about Mansa Musa. So I won't lie and say I know all that much about him. But
go ahead. And his brother.
Oh, he got. Is he single? Is he single out here? You know what I'm saying? Player. What's up, Mansa Musa, brother? So what's up about his brother, right quick, before we go to the next?
His brother is the one that actually commissioned the ships 2 times to come to America in the 11th century. It wasn't Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was just enormously wealthy, and his people and the empire of Mali. But Abubakari is the one that came before Columbus.
I think Fatu's son's name is Bubakari. Okay, that name is very popular in Africa. So okay, well, the Gambia. Okay, I'm sure I'm probably got it wrong, but I think that's Fatu's son name. Okay, so we got a little known African history fact by none other than the hair oracle, because y'all know Kilolo is out there looking for the brother. But anywho, okay. So next up, we have here. We got some comments. Hold on. I see y'all ready to. Oh, y'all laughing at me. What's up, Denise? How you doing? This my cutie pie is in the chat. Denise is so fine. You should see Denise. Oh, I should go to her Facebook page and put her on blast. But she's like, girl, why you? Girl, Denise is she fine like Hattie Mae. Girl, they just fine. All right,
okay. Hattie Mae.
Oh yeah, Hattie Mae and Denise McCray. Woo, look at their names rhyme, so you know they fine. All right, so here's the other thing that came up. So you know we're always talking about like thinning hair and so on and so forth. So what I do is I go to Yahoo and I go to Google and I type in like current events or news or whatever. So here's what popped up on Yahoo News. Now it's old, but again, it's hair news. I think if you have hair loss if you are a politician and you have a large constituency who has hair loss, where do you get a load of this? This is what they did in Korea. Oh, South Korea should fund hair loss treatments, says election hopeful and bald bid for power. Oh. And let me tell you, he won that election. He won that election. I do have the article. I will go ahead on. It's a year old and drop it in the chat. But homeboy, he said, "Hey, how about this? I think the government should pay." And then he said this
Wow.
for hair regrowth on public health care insurance. And it was criticized as populist by his opponents, but his constituency absolutely loved it. So, sure, what is that? Hey, that's ingenuous.
Right, and quite inventive. That means that, hey, you got to talk to your constituents the
You
best
got to
way
be on
you
the
can.
pulse. Yeah, you have to be on the pulse of the people. So if anybody is running for office here in Ohio or California, hint, hint. All right, you can go ahead on and rock that out. Let's see what people thought about that in the chat. It's Sandra. Hey. What's happening, Sandra? You and Harris Savannah's in the house, Miss Naomi. What's happening? What's happening? We love to see y'all. Denise, as long as you stay in the chat, I will go on your page and let everybody see how fine your ass is. So don't be telling me to stop it because I love ain't nothing finer than a black woman. Ooh, I'm talking about.
My
I ain't
sister,
gonna tell
my
y'all how old
sister.
she is either, but she fine.
All
She
right,
fine.
sister. All
All
right,
right,
sister.
okay.
All right, sister.
Sure, like, what's up, Luana? LB is in the house. How you doing, cousin? How you doing? Oh, this chat, they ready for it, sure. They like, come on through, come on through. All right, so here is the last one, which of course, you guys know how I do it. It's always a segue into the topic so we could just stay on point. And again, if you have just entered the chat. Welcome. And so you are listening to, or you're watching rather, the dumbest that people say about black hair. We are live streaming right here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, YouTube. So you are in the bootleg YouTube University. We're talking about relaxers. So we understand that there is a big uptick in case requests. They are actually, you can't go on social media without some type of a spam coming up saying, hey, if you think you have if you've been diagnosed with cancer or endometriosis or fibroids, they're naming, all types of, first it was just like ovarian cancer, and now they just went all out to all this reproductive area. If you have some concerns and you've used a relaxer, these law firms are asking you to fill out these forms, and they keep pushing articles that relaxers are indeed linked to cancer. And so Cheryl and I, we are going to be hosting a press conference next in a couple of weeks. So we need you guys to support us and share the content. If you are not following us, on all the social media platforms, please do so because you can share the content. I'm on TikTok, Cheryl's on Facebook, of course, LinkedIn. So do what you need to do. We need your help. This is not a joke. And so here is the latest, one of the another articles, this one right here, Cheryl. It says, will the FDA ban hair relaxers? So they say there's a new rule regarding formaldehyde proposed. And so they are saying that now this is the perfect segue. So we're just going to go ahead on and hop right to it. So what's up with the formaldehyde in relaxers?
What is what is up with the formaldehyde in relaxers?
Because that is the ingredient that they are saying that's in the relaxer. That's one. Now they have about maybe 7 to 10 that they've identified. Now remember, their argument is that the companies have not been forthright in sharing with the public, what's in there. So so formaldehyde is one that they are saying is definitely associated with relaxers. And you say?
Black people use sodium hydroxide. Now, let me ask you guys a question. You guys do know formaldehyde is banned already.
I do.
Yeah, it is highly known, but the problem is that we know that the beauty industry is in sectors. And what I mean sectors is that you have a black hair care sector, you got a shampoo sector, you got sectors of hair color, you got a hair color sector. And all of these are divided that make up an industrial complex. And formaldehyde is usually in the services that you needed to use gas mask or you needed to use some kind of mask. That is why they came down on also the nail industry, the fingernail industry, when they were using all of the tips and all of that stuff.
But didn't they used to have a formaldehyde like that you could use to sanitize, like a little tablet that you would drop in water back in the day?
In the toilet bowl?
And your solution in the hair salon.
I remember.
Anybody familiar with that?
I remember some of the remnants, but I just remember. Wow, that's going back a minute.
Yeah.
But anything that gives off a gas is or what we call a vapor.
Oh.
That you breathe it in. Okay. And it is, and we also know that thiol also comes with a sulfur scent or kind of.
Yeah, it stinks.
Okay.
Smells like money to me, though. I guess it depends on who you ask.
And a bleach does that as well.
It smells like money to me, but anywho, who's asking?
Right. And some ammonias, but sodium hydroxide does not. And that is what guanidine, calcium, and sodium hydroxide water, or hydroxide period, is just, it just doesn't have, H2O, two atoms of oxygen. Once you get to the alkaline, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of the pH scale, you just don't have the extra, oxygen molecule, which makes it in a hydroxide water. You go down the other way, it picks up the extra oxygen atom. You get to 7, H2O, and then it goes back to hydrogen. And so people most don't understand that hydroxide is a water. Just a water.
So you smart as hell. So let me.
We did learn that in chemistry school, right, guys?
I'm like King T. I went to high school, but I flunked every class. What y'all know about King T and Ice Cube? I'm just saying. No, seriously.
But
no, I missed that.
But formaldehyde is a totally different gaseous kind of chemical. But Black people don't use those.
Well, the niece says it was also in nail polish.
Right. It gives off a little vapor and you can smell it. The key here is that sodium hydroxide by the EPA and OSHA and FDA does not have a carcinogenic warning against sodium, calcium, guanidine, as they would say, hydroxide. I don't know when the switch happened. I don't know when.
Here you go. I got some switching for you. There you go. So I'm just going to go to the bottom. Right. And it says, while this rule will not ban hair relaxers per se, testing by several agencies, I don't know who those agencies are, suggest that formaldehyde and chemicals that release formaldehyde are extremely common in hair relaxers. This is why we need to have the press conference so they can stop schmucking around and come on and get down with the get down.
And let me just say this, and it's a sleight of hand, because European, Japanese, and Brazilian hair straightening carries formaldehyde. That was never.
And as you can see, Cheryl, at the bottom down, I don't know if you guys are noticing this. This is October 22 of this year. So this year, they are letting the public know that these several agencies, which we need to know who are these people, suggesting that formaldehyde and chemicals that release formaldehyde are extremely common in hair relaxers. Maybe they don't know what you know.
And it's not the fact that they don't know what I know, it's the fact that they spent all the money not knowing, because they could have known. They spent money not knowing, not trying to see it. And if they wanted to vilify the whole entire beauty scope, all sectors, I just said black hair care is one sector. And then under black hair care, you still have a shampoo sector, a conditioning sector, a leave-in conditioner, relaxing, and all the other components. But when the bait and switch happened and they went all the way past sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide like it's not there, and they attached European, Japanese, and Brazilian hair straightening systems that did carry vapors, harmful vapors, and formaldehyde, how they put the black relaxer box with that is the sleight of hand. And that is the bait and switch. And that is where we are going after that argument. Because if you can find that sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide has a cancer indication or is connected, then fine. But you don't have one. FDA doesn't have one. OSHA doesn't have one. And the FDA doesn't have one. And because sodium hydroxide or hydroxide-based products, sodium hydroxide-based products are also in food. And it's also in other industrial levels of your cleaning products. It's in soap. It's what's so, the problem is that why did they switch it to the box relaxer? And to me, that is going after and attacking black hair care entrepreneurs, black hair care legends, black hair care builders, and black hair care companies, making us the poster child for something that they one, have not studied, they obviously don't know, or there is actually something sinister going on trying to erase a legacy and a customer base in the way that black hairstylists and other stylists make their money through relaxer services. I don't get it.
Well,
And I
you have
actually
to,
do, but I
what I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I was on to my colleague, Dr. Leah Love,
mhm.
and there's a person who's saying that when I take it she's a doctor or maybe a practitioner, I'll just say that, and she says when her clients come to her with fibroids and similar reproductive issues, the first thing she has them to do is stop using the relaxer in their hair, and she has them start doing yoni steams and change their diets, and it goes away.
Well, why wouldn't it be connected to their diet?
I'm just saying that you can
Well,
see, and
well,
this is why we were, I'm excited to talk about your father's alternative, because people are saying
and,
things
and,
like
and, and,
that.
let me and let me say this. And I don't know what kind of doctor is she. It doesn't make a difference, and I don't care what doctor she is, because the oncology departments in this country, first of all, they have their own set of problems because most people die from the standard of care, which is radiation and chemotherapy. But let me just say this. I don't even really think that most people, I would probably say 99% of people, do not understand actually what cancer is. And I don't understand, most people don't know what cancer is. I'm sure if you ask the people in the
Anybody, let's take a stab at it. No pun intended. Would anyone in the chat like to share with Cheryl your opinions or your thoughts? Or maybe you might just know what cancer is. As we wait, I'm going to say a cancer is a abnormal growth that could be harmful or not harmful. So that's what I would say. Um, And so let's see what everybody else says. Do we know what cancer is? It's the big C word. We all talked about, having to put our boobs up on that thing, and you got to drink that stuff, and they got to put that scope and go to your colon, and they really take us through the ringers. I hate drinking that stuff. To make sure that we don't have cancer, but they feel that if you catch it early, that your chances of survival are a lot better. So in my opinion, I think cancer is an abnormal growth that can be harmful or not harmful. I don't know. I think it's benign or malignant. I don't know all the fancy words, but Lawana says it's a malignant tumor. Okay. Um, Denise says, ask, is it a virus? Very interesting. Um, uh, so so let's see what else we have. What do you guys think cancer is? Now, if you're watching this post live, feel free again to drop what you think cancer is in the chat. And so it makes for a very interactive discussion. So there we have it so far, Cheryl. I said I think it's an abnormal growth that could be benign or malignant. Lawana says a malignant tumor. And Denise questions, is it an actual virus? Sandra says she would say cancer is a disease from abnormal cells. Well, that sounds pretty good too. Okay. Good responses here. Um, okay.
All right. Um, and again, it's that very problem. Because if I were to ask, what is malignant? Because you just said it, you really don't know what malignancy is. Or, they use the word abnormal, but you don't really know what abnormal in terms of what is normal. And let me just say this, they teach cancer in the Western world. Other parts of the country don't have this problem. And cancer is a cell that either will not die or will not regenerate. And the problem is that once the cell has a oxidation problem inside the cell, it will either use enough oxygen. So in other words, most people, everybody has the potential to have a cancerous growth. Your body is supposed to adjust. Once your body doesn't adjust, does not allow that oxygen to get into the cell, if it's in its dying or regeneration phase, it needs oxygen to do that. Once there's not enough oxygen in the cell, it begins to ferment to use the oxygen. And once you have decomposing of the cell, that is when you call something cancerous. But the cell must have a deoxygenation issue. It's either too much oxygen, not enough oxygen, no oxygen, and that's how that cancer cell either begins to die and go through the life death process with enough oxygen to do that. Or if it doesn't have enough, it begins to use what we call a bad sugar. A bad sugar is fermentation, and that is what we call malignant. It's an oxygen problem. And so what would cause cells to have an oxygen problem with a relaxer? That sounds preposterous. And so, but hey, that at the end of the day, you would think that we would do what? We would starve the ferment. We would stop the fermentation of cells by going into an oxygen chamber, feeding the body with oxygen. But instead, we kill all the cells with chemotherapy and we burn them up with radiation, which continues the cycle of being sick. That is the issue. How would something on the outside, external, cause the cell to have an oxygenation problem?
Well, they say it gets in the blood stream, so
Right.
maybe
But
to
what ingredient?
somebody's
Right.
point.
Right. But what ingredient gets into the bloodstream through through the scalp when you have a skull there?
Well, I was finsta, I was fenced to say, if you understand that language, please drop it in the chat. No, I was fenced to no, I was fenced to say that maybe when they say, so say you get a burn right from the relaxer, and
Hmm.
then the ingredients, which is formaldehyde and phthalates or whatever. So when your skin cracks open, I'm just, y'all help me out now. It seeps down because you see the blood, and it mixes with your blood, and then
Yeah,
it
but you're
kind of
I know, but you're bleeding out. You're not bleeding in. That part.
that part. Okay. There are no clearly in this chat. Everybody is here to learn. We have nobody. There's no outlier saying no, you're wrong. But again, if you're watching this post live, um, there it is. You're not bleeding out, or nothing is going, everything
Back
is coming out, nothing is going back in. So I think they're saying it seeps in microscopically. How's that one? Am I doing good, guys? So it's microscopically, right, Naomi? And then it kind of permeates, and then it just travels because it's microscopic, and it goes past the blood that came out, and it's gonna sneak back in. You know what I'm saying?
And let me just say this: I already know that it is really, as professionals, so unbelievable about the things that is going on in our industry, to the point where the only thing we have to combat ignorance and things that are irrational and things that are just not true. The only thing that you have is your license, and you don't have any other process to do any expanded critical thinking. And if they're not doing it in the medical field, then the critical thinking to bring up 10 women that have the basic, 10 black women who basically have the same core, same lifestyle, and then say they all brush their teeth, but five of them got relaxers. Okay, but they all brush their teeth. They all eat. They all went to the gym. One went to the military and got exposed to something. They took the most common collaboration that both of all of these women did, and they just picked the relaxer. All of them brushed their teeth. All of them were exposed to soap. All of them were exposed to deodorant. All of them were exposed to um, maybe lead, or all of them are exposed to the same things in homes, cleaning products, but they chose the relaxer as the collaborative.
Now remember, in this sister studies, guys, they said this is a poverty issue, Cheryl. I need to point that out too, that these are things that poor people, they're trying to help people who are, you know,
No, they're trying to go to black people.
I'm trying, y'all.
They're trying to demean and defame, demonize, and criminalize black people that created the black hair care industry. And everyone else that has started their industry in Brazil and Japan and Europe and in Australia or where they are, they're just trying to be entrepreneurs, and their beauty industry is basically okay. They do the little safety issues, but black people in the continental US has been especially egregious and malfeasant and criminal, and they know that they have now, knowing that we were segregated for the first 300 years and that our customer would naturally be black. and that we had no other customers. So we built not only black baseball, black jazz, black grocery stores, black shoe companies, black everything. But for some reason, we were purposely marketing to a demographic that we only had access to. See, white folks say shit and it don't make sense, but because we want them to love us so much, when they come out with a ridiculous test paid by tax dollars, by your money, and then they come out and they say we're concerned about your uteruses and your fibroids and all your other parts of the body, but they don't do anything else in your healthcare industry to advocate for your health, but it's relaxer.
I'm with you, Rio Blue. Everybody, can we welcome our cousin Rio Blue to the dumbest ish that people say about black hair? I'm with you, Boo. I am so very speechless. When we get ready to prepare for these podcasts, you guys have no idea. I'm ready to shake Cheryl down. I'm just ready to just shake her like a salt shaker. You know what I'm saying? And or like a Polaroid. That's even better. And I just can't seem to do it because I'm with you. Who was that said Sandra E? Wow, I'm speechless. You are bleeding out. This is very, very powerful because we know that the relaxers are, now we understand it's virtually impossible. Yet, as we move over into the California green, there are some things about the relaxers that are just dang on shitty. Okay, like it burns. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So let's get to it because they like y'all just saying that.
And let's be clear. What does all other women wear? They all wear chapstick. They all wear lipstick. They all wear a mascara. They all have that shit in their mouth. Even men don't even like to even, just wipe your lips off before you even try to kiss me. The point is there are so many other things. They also go into very racist environments that cause their heartbeats and heart rates to rise. They're always in stressful, environments, in workplaces. They have to also change themselves just to damn go to work. There's so many other correlations that black women have with each other than the fact that they go get a relaxer. They all get manicures. They all do, fingernail
We
polish.
line dance too. Don't say line dance, cause
but right, there's so many health. They all eat, have fatty diets because that is one of the main things that creates deoxidation in the cell with certain peanut oils and certain kind of oils and all types of diet.
Sugar. I hear sugar is not good for cancer.
Well, here's the point. It's not just the sugar that you're putting in your bowl. It's the glucose. The cell cannot get the glucose out of the cell. It's a respiration oxidation issue in the cell. It has nothing to do with anything on the external. What would put the extreme oxidative stress on a cell? It's a mitochondrial issue. It has nothing to do. So how is that correlation between you putting on something on your scalp for once every 2 to 3 months or every month that just happens to change the pH of your scalp and it's on there for 7 to 12 minutes? I mean, what does that have to do with the deoxidation and the issue of cell death and cell?
I haven't heard any of that in any of the research, but I will say this. For real, guys. This is what the research says. I'm gonna say it again, and this is you can, as Chill would say, don't cook it up, look it up. And I put it in the chat last week. I'll put it back here again, that at the end of the day, they say that thus we are unable to provide insight as to the specific, and this is what Shirley's talking about, mechanisms by which hair relaxers could have influenced the risk. It is possible that hair relaxer use is proxy for exposure to other products containing high levels of endocrine disrupting chemicals, and that hair relaxers themselves are not the causal agents. And I'll say it again. Please stop saying relaxers cause cancer, because this is the actual research. And Cheryl pointed this out. She said African ancestry thought to increase genetic predisposition. So all this other stuff, like what we're eating, there's so many other contributing factors is what this article, but Cheryl did a much better job at explaining that to us. Now, remember, now is the perfect, and I do mean we're talking about helping to change the narrative. I can't think of a better time for you guys to take the opportunity to do this before we go into California. That was weak, wasn't it? All right, Sandra, like, don't you get your shit. Hey, Sandra, I'm still mesmerized. I'm trying to, here's the thing about when you work with Cheryl, right? I'm trying to, like, on one token, I'm trying to be the host, but on the other token, I'm like, y'all, I'm over here. Look, I got notes. I'm up here like, oh yeah, that's right. So I'm learning with you guys. I am a legitimate licensed cosmetologist. I'm here in the struggle with you all. So Sandra asked everybody, please take a moment out and hit that thumbs up button. So now we hear the cons about the relaxer and the cancer, but aren't there some things about the relaxer that just wasn't cool that your dad said, let's come up with an alternative? So let's talk about what's not cool about the relaxer, because I still say that movie, that documentary, Good Hair, just like Eddie Murphy killed the Jerry Curl with the Soul Glow, the creamy crack killed the relaxer. But what is it about the relaxer that you say, this is what I professionally don't like, and then we can kind of segue. I have the clips up with your dad all ready to go, and you just tell me which ones to select. But what is it about the relaxer that you think, like, here's the truth?
You know, me and my dad used to have many Saturdays, and the reason why Saturdays, because the office would be quiet, and we could brainstorm, and we would be going back and forth with each other's perspective on how to make it better. Now, there's if you can find it, Mr. Morrow, I don't know why. It's a video of that my dad is talking to a bunch of black girls, right? And his point was in about 1990, could have been 97, right? 1996, 97. He designed it, laying out the formulation for a safer and more innovative, relaxing, or texture enhancement, as I coined the phrase. Texture enhancement does not need to sting.
Okay, so we go write that down, guys. One of the drawbacks to the regular relaxer is that they sting and burn.
Mm-hmm. But now, the key here is for us to ask each other, why did it need to sting or burn in the first place?
Uh-oh. Class is in session, so you can stop guessing. I hear you, Lamar. I see you, Sandra. The professor is in the house. All right. So why did it stink? Because I would say because the sodium is caustic already. So I mean, that's why it burns, because caustic stuff, they just they burn. I mean, that's what's one of the side effects of something that's caustic. So I would just say in nature, for lack of better terms, um, they burn.
Okay. Does does color burn?
It can,
It can.
yeah. Color, it can irritate. Yes, it can.
It can irritate. Right, right, right. The burning part of any process that has a burning means that it is dissolving.
I'll see y'all later.
And how you do that is because it is on the high end of the pH scale.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this one. Please, y'all, plug y'all children's ears up. Y'all know I'm ghetto. I'm sorry, LinkedIn. I know y'all gonna flag this. Sure, you a bad motherfucker. Okay, I had to let it out. Harrison Savant, can I get some claps in the chat? Come on, y'all. You went there. Oh my God.
So
What?
if it starts here and you say the burn starts going down here, how is this going inside? Y'all just let cosmetology tell y'all anything. And then
I think because it's when the skin, when the skin bubbles, I think, you get a burn and you get that, what I'm talking about. So I think that's what we think, that it's the skin is coming off or it bubbles and it could be anything like
let me just say this, and the scalp is quite fascinating because you never see a scalp burn, no matter if it's magic shave or it's high alcohol or if it's aftershave. It doesn't make a difference. If it's high in alkalinity and you have an abrasion, it's gonna sting and burn. And you guys have seen men who have burnt skin.
right.
That's the same premise. The issue is that it can't burn and travel, change something, and jump out at the same time.
Oh, you going hard tonight, Cheryl. You hurting us. We need to be on CNN, y'all. Come on. Y'all better share this damn podcast. I gotta take these bootleg glasses off. What is you saying? I'm trying to look smart. Man, listen.
But just think logically, and your scalp never bubbles. So it must be.
What about that? Wait a minute. Now that scab.
It scabs, but it doesn't blister. Your scalp doesn't blister. So that means that it has a different composition than the skin on your hands and the skin on your fingertips and your fingerprints. It's not juxtapositioned like that. It's not composed as the skin on your cheeks. Your scalp has a different set of organized tissue and cell tissue, not like your skin on your body or your face or your neck.
Well, what about that burn? That burn on the relaxer where the hairline feels. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No, that's just exposure to high pHs to where it's very shiny.
No, but your skin, it feels
tight, very tight, very
so
tight.
Isn't that getting into your system when it's got that tight? I'm just trying to.
No, it's called wound healing. It's just that your skin knows it was exposed to a high pH, and it's adjusting. It sends inflammation. It sends blood to the and then begins to wound heal. That's
now,
when.
Would somebody say you're trying to justify this?
No, it's called science. That's how things work.
George. Hey, George.
That's just how things.
You talk about the house again, George? Huh, George? George. It's called science, George.
Right.
Huh, George?
And there's a lot of room for improvement. Where no one is saying that there's not a lot of room for improvement.
So
Now,
let's
so Dr. Morrow goes on and he says, well, there is a pH that is actually that the immune system does like. That is that is over 7, 8, 9, and 10.
What is this you talking about?
The body likes 11 to 12, actually. So we chose the 11-12 pH as the ground basis of the most healthiest conditioner that we can. So we start from the safest thing we can, and then we make it into a cosmetic. Now, when you guys go to a park or you guys go to a spa and you want to take a mineral bath and you sit yourself in the jacuzzi, what pH is that jacuzzi?
I don't know, because y'all know I'm ghetto. I just get in the
Okay. So mineral springs, hot springs, natural mineral water is 11. So there is high pHs that nature does well, and your body does very good.
You mean those spring baths that you go and you sit in the out in the woods and stuff?
Those are very high pHs, but they're in a range. They're in a spectrum that is healthy for the bodies, the bone, and the muscles that the body agrees with. It is when you go out of the scope when you start getting into danger. It's almost like x-rays are in a scope, but if you start going outside of that and going to gamma, that's when you're going to start being the radiation's going to get very accelerated, too much energy, and it's called radiation. So it's always scope or a spectrum. So Dr. Morrow just said, why don't we stay in between a spectrum and reformulate it to where it only allows the cuticle to permeate and become cosmetically different, so it reacts to the environment different and not change the genetics of it by eating it away like most hydroxides do.
So do you guys, let's show a video of your dad breaking that down. I'm gonna go ahead on and just clap Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. All right. So I've got my little video here. Let's do some present here. So let's just show this. Share screen. All right, here we go, guys. Here it is.
Years, they were down to my knees. I got tired of that. Wanted so because it's in its natural state, it's like this. I have to get in the shower, wet my hair, and while I'm in the shower, comb it. Not when I get out. Then I'm oh, it's too much.
One of the things that I have to do, and that is this grease you got on there. Mm-hmm. Grease is not soluble.
Okay.
And so what happened is the grease is going to prohibit the organics from getting into the hair shaft and getting into the crevices of the hair and soften that hair up. And those cuticles are so thick on your hair that it makes the hair very, very coarse, very, very matted, and very difficult to comb. So I'm going to take it and really get some of this oil off of it and some of the grease off. And you get the oil off and the grease off of the head by doubling up now. So what I'm going to have to do is put this product on. You know, this hair just drinks that product up. Mm-hmm. It just drinks it up.
It drinks everything up.
All right. So there we have. I heard the cameras clicking. You know, that's old school. You heard the shutter was going. Now let me yes, round of applause. What now I noticed he didn't have on any gloves. So and he talked about she had stuff on the hair because in real life customers do come in with all types of stuff on the hair. So he acknowledged that he was consulting with her throughout the entire process. We don't I'm not gonna say we do that with the relaxer. I don't. I'll just be honest. So this California green allows you to have a different type of a conversation with the client. Number one, number two, you can address what's happening with the hair without being insulting, because he was able to acknowledge, like, I know you have something on your hair. I even know what it is, and but we can help you. You know, the relaxer, you have a whole different conversation. Excuse me, you need to not come this loud with this stuff. I'm just saying, y'all. I was just speaking this. Remember, this is the dumbest stuff that we say, and so not that that's dumb, but that's the response when the customers have all this stuff on their hair. The relaxers have a different type of a conversation, and we're definitely not putting it on without gloves. At least I'm not. So let's talk about the California green more in detail, where'd you get the name from, and then just that whole dialogue that we just saw there.
Mr. Morrow is always a farmer. He was always in the garden, and you couldn't take that part of his lexicon out. He was the king of collard greens, and he loved his garden. He loved uh, killing gophers and all that stuff. He'd bring them to the office, and he would name them. But California Green, of course, California Curl. But California Green is because he was excited about the green and blue movement in the early 2000 season. And because he was always in pursuit of eco balance, and he understood distillation and chemistry from the farm. He understood it extremely well. And I understood it obviously from formal education, aka white folks. So he would, say, "Go get that," and then when you get that, I'm gonna have to take that out and put the black alchemy in your head so everything could make sense, and then you could use and manipulate all of them at your disposal. So we got into the California green because of the California movement in the green sciences.
Oh, okay, okay,
And he wanted to see beauty come up to that standard. He knew he had made all of the enzymic relaxers. He knew he had made all the sodium and guanidine and carbonates. He already was there. And so in 1997, he began on that um, escapade to and explore
right,
and stretch it. But you have to start with, he started with his reformation conditioner, then he went to the alkalins and
right,
and tried to see and stretch them and see how they
right.
worked
Now
with each
he
other.
Yeah, now he pointed out that this would not denature the hair like the relaxer. So we have Lawana in the chat who kind of has a question that is, I know her hair may be different from what's in there, but she talked about the relaxer thinning out the hair. Your dad did mention that the relaxer kind of, it does take too much away of the cuticle, and that this California green would not do that. And so she says she would like to go back to them because her hair is hard to manage. Can we just really thank you so much, Lawana, because this is something that people who don't have this as an issue, they don't understand how altering the texture could be helpful. So let's talk about
So you right. So
the
you would,
denaturing of the hair and this whole, it really is difficult to manage, guys. So, you know,
yeah. So what you do is that Dr. Morrow decided and on these Saturdays that he would force me. Well, first of all, I would stay in the front office. He would go back to the lab. And he understood that once you denature protein, and denature is only a word that is applied to protein, because the problem is that you go from the plantation, and when you went from the plantation version of a hydroxide-based relaxer or a lye base, they didn't call them hydroxide then, but Black people understood hydroxide water. High pH, you would thin things out. It would shave things, make things smaller. Your hair gets thinner, Luana, because the diameter of the hair is getting smaller. Okay, so when each strand is getting smaller, and this strand is getting smaller, and this strand over here is getting smaller in a circle, well, then now you have all these thin hairs. That's why when you have a new growth, the hair that has not been treated is this wide. Now your relaxer hair has been melted to this diameter. So,
Like on this pen here, that's a good example where the pen has, this would be like your new hair, and then this is like
right.
your old relaxed hair. Okay.
So, right. So that's why this, this hair breaks off, because this is going to remove it because it has its whole diameter. So when you have traditional cosmetology saying that this hair have some different bond juxtaposition, when you already know that your new growth is this diameter and your relaxed hair is this diameter, and it breaks right off at the
that's the demarcation line, right?
So something has been denatured, which means dissolved. It has not gone in to change the bonds. It's just a outside shaving of it, and it's now small. Dr. Morrow is saying if we don't ever take off the cuticle layer and create this small, why don't we just take the cuticles that are there, make them texture enhance them by saying you're either laying them on the hair shaft differently, you're changing their relationship to environment and water and humidity, you're changing their relationship with heat, you're making them more flexuous, and you can do that in a pH that the body has accepted as medicinal. 11.2, 11.5 is a medicinal pH to the human body. So if you can just keep it, and now, in other words, I just bought some Levi's the other day, and I realized that my ass got to go back to the regular flexuous soft denim and cotton, because the ones that I bought, even though I like the way they look, they're still the fibers are extremely coarse. So I have to wear them, get my body oils in it to loosen up the fibers because they're so coarse. That is the same correlation to what we do to Afro textures. The cuticles are so very juxtapositioned on the hair shaft, and you just have to make sure that you get an elixir in there to make them act like, let's say, fabric softener. You're not changing the cotton fiber. You're making the cotton fibers behave different. And so you don't have to get them to change the genetic behavior, because the regular relaxer just takes the cuticle off, and then you have a loose noodle, and then you have relaxed hair.
And so he says, Theo says, disclaimer, bonds are jeopardized using alkaline chemicals.
Not true, sir. Sorry. Can't let you say that.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Right.
Okay, Theo.
We don't get to the bonds when you use relaxers. They will eat your fingerprints. They just eat through things. They don't let things stay on an outside, change something inside, and then jump out and allow you to neutralize it. That you wouldn't get a burn if it did that. You wouldn't feel a sensation if it did that. And I know a lot of professionals, and I'm not trying to just correct my peer, my colleague, but the point of the matter is we have got to start telling cosmetology to stop saying it so we can get to the proper innovation and formulation. Stop letting them tell us that hydroxides work differently. They don't work like penetrators, they're dissolvers.
Bottom line, and this is how we help change the narrative.
That is why the Luana, you're not imagining anything. Your hair becomes smaller when you get a relaxer. It don't stay the same mass. It gets smaller because the diameters of the hair strand has been dissolved.
Those cuticle layers are being. So we have another clip where you talked about that
let me just say this. It just bugs me. I just don't understand why professionals are looking at the hair strand get smaller and we still are talking about bonds.
Because they teach, I will say it again, that the bond, that the cuticles, they open just a little. And then the relaxer is going to go in and break down some of those disulfide bonds. And then when you go to rinse it off and you put the neutralizer, it's going to kind of lock the new shape in.
I mean, but that don't even happen under a microscope. That doesn't happen.
No, but we believed it. I did. I taught it. I have them.
You guys know that if you don't touch up that damn touch up, the shit is going to fall off.
We were lazy. Lazy in our intellect. I'm just going to speak for myself. I'm not taking down the videos that I have here on my YouTube channel because I want to demonstrate. I want to demonstrate growth. Mm-hmm. He's not the only one. If you are a licensed professional, you have been taught that in some capacity. And we have not challenged it, even though now that you've brought it to our attention, it really isn't working like that because we can see the hair texture begin to literally loosen right before our very eyes. But because
and maybe, let me ask you a question, Ladosha. Maybe, do you guys believe that natural, like Afro curly hair, really? Like, do you guys believe that? I'm trying to figure out where is the disconnect.
It's not the disconnect. I'm with hair.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you guys think that Afro curly hair, when it makes that coil, how do you guys think that the hair is making the coil?
I would think, and Hair Savant, any licensed cosmetologist in the chat, please, guys, this is how we help change the narrative. I was taught that coil is coming from the shape of the mouth of the follicle, right? And that the cuticle has the ability to open and close. and hot water, chemicals, hair color, things of that nature. These things swell, flat irons, these things swell the cuticle. And when you have a chemical, it's altered. That is what I was taught. Now, before I came across,
let me ask you a question.
Never gave it any thought.
Right. So if sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, lithium, it don't make no difference. If it went in and changed something, why can't you change it back?
Well, now, Hair Savant, come on, y'all, just work with me. I was taught that you could revert a relaxer with vinegar. I've never.
But why would vinegar have anything to do with bonds?
I don't. I mean, this was like old school hairstylists telling. I would go to cosmetology schools and do presentations. I would hear them say that, but I never.
you would have to have cuticles in order to something to reverse a relaxer, right?
Right.
What is in vinegar that will actually go in the cortex and reverse what hydroxide did?
I would think the word they used was stripping, but like hair savant, I was taught the same thing. I was taught the change was permanent and could not be reversed. And so, and that gave us the optical in our mind, our mental faculties, because you could not take the straight hair and make it go back to its curly state. That to me solidified that something was going inside that strand of hair and rearranging those bonds. That's
Right.
me. I'm just speaking about
Absolutely.
myself.
But how could you strip something that's inside?
I never thought about it. I'm with you. That's all we can say. Hair savant. That's why he called her the Oracle. And they don't, and then he says it again. It's in the teaching, right? Hair savant. I mean, I'm not. Listen, we're trying to change the education, and I haven't.
Let me ask you guys a question. So when you guys put on relaxer, why do you keep doing this?
Doing what?
When you put on a relaxer, and you guys are going through there, why do you guys keep doing that?
You are loosening the.
No. It's going inside now. Why would you guys keep hitting it like that? If it's an inside job.
Here we go. Lawana is cracking up. It's smoothing. Thank you, hair savant.
Right, but so you guys saying once it go inside, you guys are making it go inside more. When yet shit is
it's called.
When you already know the shit is eating off your
Theo,
damn.
why you leave us, Theo? You done got us on, and now you ain't gonna say nothing in the chat.
Come on, Theo. Come on,
I
Theo.
think
Come on, professional.
It's your body heat. So what's that called? Help me out here, Savant. What's that when your body heat makes it? Danny, if you're still in the chat, any
come on, professionals.
Thermogenic. It's like, so you want to make a cap, a heat cap. So you trap the body heat, and then that is going to, make it warm.
Y'all. It's melting. You're smoothing it so it could. So what are you guys saying? It wouldn't straighten the hair if you wouldn't smooth it? So the shit ain't going inside. That's why.
She got us. That's it. We're done. That's the end of the podcast. Y'all have a good night.
You already said if you don't straighten it, lay it down and smooth it and keep going in there, it won't go in. It ain't going inside. It's smoothing because it is what? It is stripping it, the cuticle. You are trying to get it all fried, dyed, laid to the side. Come on.
Mic drop. Did y'all see that? Mic drop.
You guys, if it was going inside, predicting the way you guys wanted it straight, you guys would put it on, just lay it there, and kick back. No, you go in there and you keep going in there with that brush and you keep doing it and you're smoothing it because it's a physical straightness issue and phenomenon in science. It is not.
He said, wait a minute, Cheryl. Hold on. Wait a minute, Cheryl. It's going too fast. Wait a minute. Hold up. He said smoothing to stretch. So you're smoothing.
Right. So you have to add physiology to it. If you don't add your physiology to it, the product will not make it. It will make it. It'll just sit there. But you guys want to smooth it because you have to add physiology to hair, to relaxing. Without the physical part of it, adding physicality and making it lay flat, you're not gonna get the straightness because it is a dissolving mechanism. It is an eating process, a dissolving process. So you guys keep smoothing it. That's it. You had to add your physical participation in order to make a relaxer work because it's working from the outside in. It ain't going in and then working its way out. That's preposterous. It never happened. That is the way sodium lye works. It is a physical mechanism kind of treatment. It don't work like you can't just lay it up there and then just back up,
That's true.
A cold wave. You can't.
That is true.
You can't just do it and walk away from it. You have to mold it because you are what? It's a physical thing because you guys got to hurry up and get it off, y'all.
Because that burn. It's the burn.
It's
some people say they want it.
It's
they want it. They say, "Oh, let it sit." Remember that, Naomi? Come on, guys. Hair survival.
Y'all don't say let it soak. Y'all say let it sit. Y'all don't say let it go in there and do what it got to do and jump out and then in time 10 minutes and come out.
It's not hair color.
Right.
It's funny. You wait.
But the lie about the lie.
Hair savant. Did you hear what she just said? I could have had a damn V8. Whoo! Watch this. She just said it can't just sit. If you don't move it,
it ain't gonna
work, right? All right, where my colorists at? Where are my colorists? What do they tell you to not do when you color that hair, baby? Come on, Cheryl. Cheryl just put it together, y'all. Oh, hair survival. You know what they say? You bet not put that comb to it. Don't you touch it. You better not. They don't want you taking that comb. They don't want you taking that hair and twisting it up in no bun. They want you to let what get to it? Oxygen. It makes the color develop better. Oxygen is the key to get it to lift and deposit.
It's you put it on and you back up.
I'm
you
done.
Can't do that to no relaxer. You got to work it. What you working if it's going inside? You working it because you are working it. It's a physical thing. You have to add physicality to the relaxing treatment or it doesn't smooth.
I am just... Remember that song, Ain't No Such Thing as Halfway Crooks, Scared to Look. You shook. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks, scared to look, scared to look. They shook. She done shook us. She done shook us like a, But before we wrap this up, can we just show another portion of the video? I think we all like, watch me, nay. Okay.
And guess what Mr. Morrow told that client to stop doing? Stop putting that water on your hair.
Yeah, we beg people. I'll tell you, I keep telling y'all, the number one reason we lose clients is comb your hair. Number two, stop putting water. Hey, they say, Ladosha, it's the people in Cleveland that can't stand. Trust me. Everybody like, you all that? No, I am not. Trust me. I have a lot of people in Cleveland that is not feeling my black activacty. But let's just show another clip. Oh, hold on. She said, Nobody say, hold up before y'all go. So what about my hair? What should she do? Because the natural just ain't working. Okay, she can relax it. You can relax it. I mean,
well, one of the things that I don't know where you are, Miss Luana, but we'll work it out because I actually do make them one by one. I design them. I don't do bulk and have big lab, and I don't do that anymore. I'm not saying I will never do it, but what I would do is I would design one for you.
Oh, I said relax. Did you see that, Luana? Don't hit that thumbs up button and y'all quit. Y'all better make this podcast. This is America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. The dumbest shit that people say about black hair. Like what? Relaxers go in, they swell the cuticle, rearrange the disulfide bonds. When you put the water, you rinse them off, you use the neutralizer shampoo, and that's going to take out the relaxer, and you're going to have that new pattern, and you come back every 4 to 6 weeks for your touch-up. Okay, it's a lie. And I think Hair Savant, what did you say, Hair Savant? Where was it at? I think I saw it. You said it somewhere up in here that this is a lie. And that's what I said. They're lying on a lie. I can't find it, but he did say it somewhere up in there that this is a big lie. So let's show you guys something else that you can do with the California green, because one of the things that we know that people want just by Lawana's comment is they want flexibility. Some people want to wear it straight, and some people want to wear it curly, but they don't want it greasy. So let's show another video with Dr. Morrow showing the other side of the California green. And again, please hit the thumbs up button. And this is why we are the official relaxer advocate. So I'm going to take a moment out, and I'm going to get on over to YouTube right quick. Share screen. Dr. Morrow. All right. Okay, so I'm going to come over to this one, Cheryl.
Mm-hmm. They were the best customers.
I think I want
to. You think? Again? You know, I mean, this is great. Because that's so. Make sure we get that lip balm on there and keep that on there. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is, I want you to stand up for just a minute. Enough for your lips. It's certainly mild enough for your hair. I'm Willie Morrow. So let's stay tuned. Stay tuned in. We're gonna show you the rest, the result. That's She said she was like Little Autumn, and that's how it is. Take this now. We go here. We take a little bit of the blow dry lotion, just a little bit. Okay. Put a little bit of the blow dry lotion in. Something like this. I'm gonna put the set on you because I think that we should leave those pretty curls in, don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't think we should take those pretty curls out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set those curls. And this product right here sets the curls in the hair. Make it more curly than what it was. This is what they do.
Wow.
Set the curls in the hair. So you can kind of tell that just by putting it on there that the curl become more intense.
No, he did
All
not.
right. So there you have it. That's the
Now, when you go to but when you go to part 3 is where he blow dried the other client, and he adds flat iron, and I think that's what Luana is talking about.
Okay, so let's show that right quick. Okay, guys, let me just get a second so you guys can see this is part 3, and that's just the diversity of this is what people are looking for.
That client that you just saw, her hair dries naturally loose. She didn't want the tightness. She just wanted the loose kind of curling, but she didn't want it rotted. She didn't want to go through all of that. You know what I mean? She didn't want to go through all of that rigmarole. She just wanted it bathed, sit in there 25, 30 minutes, and she just wanted to rinse. But she just wanted her curls lighter, fluffier, and more defined. But she wanted, when she went swimming or something, she wanted it to go back to the way Mr. Morrow fixed it and not to her birth texture.
All right.
That's right.
So here we go. You said go to number 3, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, just go to the middle of it.
Okay.
What we're doing now is just putting.
Right.
You need. I want to take this off just to kind of give you a better idea. Let me take this off for a minute. Anything that lives in the hair on the
Oops.
kills it. For example, our great grandparents, they all had full heads of hair. And they had full heads of hair because they pressed it and they put heat on it, and heat would get rid of any of the bacteria that
There
would.
you go. There you go.
Right. I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it. Yeah, just go
Yeah, I
towards.
saw it. Here it is. Right there it is right there.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just gonna back up just a little bit, guys, y'all.
Wow, look at that.
Let me see. Yeah, she needs to see that herself.
Yeah. So you do things. You do. You have to do. You want to get in?
No. Sit right there.
Oh.
I'm just gonna.
Oh, mm-hmm.
That look good. That look good. Woo-wee.
Sneak a peek.
Yes, yes. Wow.
Glamorous shot.
Money. This is
Shake.
money. This is money.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
All right. So there you have it. Yeah, that was law right there. That
Yeah,
is what women are. That's
yeah,
what women are looking for. They want to be able to alter their natural, hair. They want to loosen up the texture. They don't want the commitment of the curly perm, and they don't want the commitment of the relaxer. The wave nouveau was almost it, but
yeah, but it was style based.
and you got to put that grease on it. They
Yeah.
don't want it greasy. So
Right.
this, to me, that is what people are looking for today, as far as manageability for speed, time. Um,
Well, you don't
uh,
change. You don't want to give up your natural status. You want your natural status to be able to be transitional.
yes,
You want it.
perfect word.
You want
Yeah,
you want the strand to behave cosmetically different and to feel like a different fiber without genetically changing the actual genetics of the cotton fiber. You want it to behave like another fiber. You don't want it to necessarily be another fiber. And that is what Dr. Morrow had managed to do with California Green.
yeah. You guys can go on to YouTube and Google California Green, Dr. Morrow, or just go to Cheryl Morrow's YouTube channel. And of course, y'all know me, little, consummate overachiever. I went on ahead and just, made a playlist. But you can watch all of this, and a lot of the statements that he's making in the video are absolutely profound. And I could just tell you that, with my hair texture, people like the versatility. Like, I like Ladosha's hair because she's got the texture and she can also straighten it out. And, she can do the color. She can do everything, to her hair. And that is what people want. They want to be able, as Cheryl said, be transitional. And so this is why we asked you
And
guys.
grow the hair and be good
Uh-huh.
for the scalp, and
Yeah.
to make the scalp healthier, and to get the scalp to go back into its natural pH, wound healing environment. And so you don't really want it to be able to sacrifice your pH, your scalp, just because you want the hair to be supple and transitional, no matter what you want to wear it. So that those two different clients can wear each other's hairstyle when they want to.
And that, I'm telling you, sometimes people just, at our hair salon, we teach people how to do their own hair. So people, we don't want them coming to us because they have to. We don't want people coming to the salon because they can't do it themselves. Now, you do have some people that are like, I'm not gonna cut my grass. I could, but I ain't.
Absolutely.
Right. You do have people that are like that, but we're talking about, I call it real hair on real people in real life. And people, they want flexibility. Nobody wants to be a slave to the hair salon. And this is our job. And this is why we must, if you know a cosmetologist, a barber, a consumer who is down with the beauty industry that lives in the greater San Diego area, please ask them to show up to the press conference. I do have it here. I know you guys like, well, let us see it. Yeah, I like talking you doing. Hold on, I did. Here it is right here. So here we go. So there it is. It's the press conference announcement, the Relaxer Live. Hair Savant, we actually we're on the same page. San Diego, December 13th. The location is to be announced. I'm going to be there. Cheryl's going to be there. And Lorenzo Griffin. Can we get Lorenzo on the show before we go up?
Yes.
I'm
Absolutely.
not familiar with Lorenzo Griffin, but we're going to have him. Well, maybe he can come Thursday.
Yes.
If not,
Get him. Yes, absolutely.
yeah. So we're going to see if we can get Lorenzo Griffin on the show on Thursday, since we're going to be talking about, the education in the beauty industry. We're going to be back next week talking about natural hair unbothered, because people are so, I found the perfect video where the lady is like, I'm sick of this shit. If you put it in a ponytail, you take your hair out. If you color it, take your hair out. If you put braids in it, she said, hell with it. I just ain't gonna comb it. She's sick of it. She says, I'm fed up and I'm tired. And this is why we have to go to California, because it's going to hurt our Black beauty industry and barber industry. People are they're sick of our shit, man. They're like, you cosmetologists and you barbers, all y'all can do is the same thing. Help me out. So as you can see, Dr. Morrow has something. You guys are going to love the clip. We're just going to use her clip and a couple of other ones, but she hit the nail on the head. Lawana hit the nail on the head. Naomi, all of you guys in the chat, Danny, everybody, Sandra, what can we say? You and Hair Savant, Theo, you go get it started and then leave us hanging. Don't Theo live in San Diego?
Yeah, he here with me.
Theo, I will see you when I get there. I'll see you when I get there.
I know, you know what I mean? That don't mean no harm, but
yeah. But we needed that though. So thank you, Theo.
We gotta correct what we know we doing every day.
Right. And this guy,
and it gotta be logical. Come on.
Right. If you are a cosmetologist, remember, help change the narrative. Hair Savant. Now we already know, Naomi. We gonna be in the hair salon like, no, because you smoothing it. It ain't going in. This is how we help change the narrative, guys. We gotta stop this nonsense, and we gotta give credit. Well, where y'all get that from? Say Cheryl Morrow. Don't be perpetrating. Y'all know folks be trolling the channel.
Wait a minute, and y'all be rinsing it out. You ain't went nowhere. Y'all gonna be rinsing the shit out.
Yeah, don't be out here stealing the information and going back acting like you made it up, okay? Don't do that. Give credit where credit is due, because you know black folk will be like, and so you just didn't know, boo. But let me tell you right now, the relaxer ain't going in. Stop that, okay? Y'all know Cheryl taught us that. So tell the truth according to the proof. And we will be back here on Thursday. Again, we're talking about the state of cosmetology education. And then next Monday, we're going to be talking about the unbothered natural hair movements. In other words, we sick of y'all shit. Okay. Anything else, Cheryl? We got everything covered. This was a powerful, I'm with you. I'm with you. Everybody in the chat is like, it was amazing. It was, sure. You blew us out the water, man. It was like Trigger Man's heart. Yeah. Come on through, Harrison. But I wish you could meet us in San Diego. It would, we'd be hurting bad. Heard of bad if you could meet us in San Diego. We'd be off the chain. All right, guys, you have a wonderful night. You know what we say right here. Oh, Cheryl, give us a closing thought on this whole thing of relaxers causing cancer and the right and our ability to be able to advance the industry. Help us out as we wrap this up.
I just want you guys to be in San Diego with me when we get on Fox News, CBS, ABC, NBC. We're going to be radio. We're going to stand up for ourselves. We're going to be accountable. We're going to say, okay, we have the opportunity to expand. We are involved with the future. We do want to be safe. We understand how important research is, and we're just going to be present. And we're going to not only be present, but you're not going to destroy our ancestors, our great titans of industry, our business builders that have pulled us off of the plantations of America and put us into the American business enterprise with pride and dignity. You will not demean, demonize, criminalize, and defame them. You will not do that. But we will be present. We do believe in research and safety and advancements. And so, and I just appreciate you guys being a good sport, because I understand what we were taught, but it's our responsibility as professionals to accept what is no longer serving us, doesn't work. Stop acting like what we don't see in front of our face, and and just get in here. And let me just say this, everybody that's on this podcast, everyone, somebody's going to benefit from this work. Some people who will never meet you, but they're going to be glad that you stood in the fight, and you did fight what's right, and you fought for science, and you fought, and they will be making wonderful money and lots of wonderful things because we took the step to do this. And so I just want to say thank you guys for being a good sport.
Yes. You know, my father always told me, Ladosha, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Stop looking for the gold star and the A and the honor roll. Just do the damn right thing. So that's what Cheryl and I are doing. If you are down with us, just help us out. In your post, you can put what? I am a relaxer advocate, hashtag, we serious about our business. It's just that simple. All right, guys, you know what we say, right? You know, so we're signing out, right? A whole lot of peace, a whole lot of love, and for sure a whole lot of hair. But check it out. If you ain't got it, don't want it, can't stand it, can't grow it, you're sick of it, you got bald patches, we say don't even worry about all of that, because bald heads are beautiful too, and so are you. So do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, using what? I am a relaxer advocate, hashtag, we are serious about our business. Good night, guys.